Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chine. Let's get into the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Let's go. So this was really cute. The ladies woke up from their trip. They're in an RV camper and they are sleeping in the RV together to settle their issues or whatever. But y'all, they got up to cook breakfast. Bronwyn is over here putting naked steaks on the grill. I would not eat that. So they were sitting down talking about their kids, and I think Heather was saying something like she's proud of her kids, whatever. She's glad they're going away to school. And Whitney was like, I wanted to be a stay-home mom. That's why I was doing what I was doing. But now since my business has failed, I have to work. She and her husband merged their company into another entity, and she said it was doing good, and then it just tanked. So she's feeling bad about what's going on. She's talking to her husband about failure. She's not doing good with it. But I saw in someone's comments that she got her company back. So Whitney asked Mary, how was Robert Jr. doing? She said that Robert Sr. had come home. They had a talk with him, and they were like, you just gonna have to do better. Mary said that he has the tools that he needs to do better, and they're just taking it one day at a time. And then she gave Heather props. She told Heather that she didn't have a support system, and she gives it up to mothers who can raise 3 children by themselves. Mary said that she couldn't do it without Robert Sr. There's no way she could have done that. Raising 3 kids, I couldn't imagine doing that by myself because 1 is a lot. I'm sick of Heather already. Like sick of Heather. Like she has no backbone. She has no self-esteem at all. And she's sitting here running everything down to Lisa that happened on the camping trip. She's talking about how Bronwyn had pulled up the court documents, and she's talking about all her lawsuits. And then Lisa was trying to explain it, lying and going on. And she was like, this is horrible for the friend group. So then as she's talking to Heather, she then says, I live a very different life from all of you. So Heather is taken aback. Like, how could she say this to me? She was like, you don't live that different of a life. She said, I do. Now Heather's saying that she doesn't like how Lisa talks and does all these little elitist comments because she thinks she's better than you, Heather. And then she was like, well, who took up for me? Did Meredith take up for me? And Heather's like, well, it's Meredith, and Meredith always stays on mute. So this is the result of Lisa feeling like nobody is there for her. Meredith didn't take up for her. Angie was co-signing what Bronwyn was saying. And then she's talking about it's pathetic, but then you get this. I can't with Lisa. So Whitney and Bronwyn are together, and Whitney is telling Bronwyn that she's glad that she and Heather had a chance to talk. And I feel like the girls that they did have a chance to talk because Lisa was not there. So then she is here now talking about these lawsuits and the documents that she's obtained and read. Basically, Lisa is dealing with a statute of limitation situation where she feels like time has run its course and I'm not paying you. And then she said, if your text messages can implicate you, she said that basically in the documents, Lisa is not disputing the debt. And then on top of all that, if she and John are running their tequila business, why doesn't he know about it? And when it's like, John didn't know, she was like, no. Then they get to talking about this mystery man child. They said last season on the reunion, Angie said that Lisa has a mystery man who pays for her lip fillers. Bronwyn is like, while you sit here worried about what's on my Amex when I buy my jewelry, I'm worried, and it's my husband's. Whose Amex are you using? Because clearly it's somebody else's. I feel like Mary Cosby is going to take this season again because this is the real and the reality. So last season, we found out that Robert Jr., her son, has an addiction. This season, since he's gone to rehab and now we're back with the new season, he's home after rehab. And so she's sitting down talking to him, asking him what's up. And child, this broke me down. So Robert Jr. is talking to Mary and he's telling her that he is not in that dark space, but is still there. He said he's been doing something for so long and now he comes back and he's not doing it anymore. It's scary to him. And he was like, he's not hanging out with his friends. So he's isolated himself because he can't go back and hang out with those friends because they were doing the things that got him in this situation in the first place. So he just stays at home. So Mary is sitting here telling him that, she doesn't want him to feel isolated, but you can't hang out with those same people who you bonded with over drugs. You cannot do that. In order for you to get better, You have to isolate yourself from your friends. But he's like, he doesn't have any friends anymore. He just stays at home. This has got to be difficult. So then he says, since he's isolating himself, he's getting resources from unhealthy stimuli, right? So Mary is literally sitting on pins and needles because she's like, you're not doing like you were doing before. He said no. So he's getting his resources from food and drugs. And he said that he smoked weed. Like, he's trying to come down off of it, but this is not a cold turkey situation. So then Mary tells him that every day is not easy and you have to take it day by day. And she feels like she has always been this helicopter mom for Robert Jr. And she said that now she finds herself having to pull back and letting him figure it out. She said because she could want it all day, basically, but he has to want this for himself. This is just hard to watch. My heart goes out to Mary. But baby, Mary is Salt Lake City. So on the camping trip, when Heather was talking about her girls going to college and all of that kind of stuff, Bronwyn let them know, like, how would you do that? I love Gwen so much. I've even moved her boyfriend in so she can be home with us, right? So Bronwyn is apologizing because she was like, she wanted to support Heather. Because Heather came in talking about her daughter's coming home from Santa Barbara and to be with her daughter who's getting ready to go to college. And Heather felt like what Bronwyn was saying was like, I'm not done mothering. Like, how could you put your kids out of the house so you can have time for yourself? And Bronwyn said, I don't know how you got it, but that's not what I meant. I was trying to be supportive. Look, at the end of the day, Bronwyn, you need to go on and be friends with somebody else in this group because Heather is so far up Lisa's behind. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter. She's going to find a way to argue with you if you say the grass is green. It does not matter. And I don't know why you want to be friends with Heather that much anyway. Heather is not a solid person. She is a flip-flopper. Child, so the fashion girlies are walking the red carpet to this event given by some Utah socialites, right? Look at Bronwyn's dress. I'm sure it cost $5,000 million, but Bronwyn said she had it on so she could keep people away from her. So the girls are all in the room and Heather is like, where's Lisa? She's looking for her little anchor or whatever. Lisa's in the car with her husband on their way and she's like, these girls just don't get me. And as soon as she arrived, she walked in the room and said something like, I'm here. Guess who's here? Nobody said anything. It was crickets. So Lisa walks in, speaks and hugs and kisses Heather and Meredith and just says hi to Angie. Angie is looking at her real crazy. And then she says, I had lunch with Heather. She told me about the trip. And she told me who was a good friend and who was not. Low key letting Meredith know, I know you didn't have my back when they was talking about me. You did not stick up for me. So Meredith is taking that in. So when Lisa asked Meredith, was there anything else said? This is Meredith. There was a lot said. Lisa's like, tell me, what was said? Meredith does not want to get into it because Meredith knows that she didn't say anything to take up for Lisa, and she's not trying to do that right now. This B, if Heather is kissing Lisa's behind, Brittany wrote the manual on how to do it. I cannot stand her. So she comes up and Meredith says, we're talking about the trip. And she was like, oh, Bronwyn came out with all these documents talking about you. And Angie compared you to Jen Shaw. Now, Lisa over here pissed because she was like, I'm not a criminal. I wouldn't wish that on somebody I hate. Who says that they hate someone? That's the type of person Lisa is. Lisa is not a good person. So Lisa goes up to Angie and said, I think we need to have a chat because Brittany said da-da-da-da-da. She said, yeah, let me know what she says so I can fix this mess because we all know Brittany talks mess all the time. So now Angie has told Lisa that Bronwyn had brought out these documents. Right. Bronwyn hears it and goes over to Lisa and says, since you got the problem with me, why don't you talk to me? Lisa's like, you're dismissed. Bronwyn said, what needs to be dismissed is these lawsuits. Bronwyn ate Lisa up. Lisa's like, all you do is suck on gout, you know what? Whitney said she thought gout was in the feet. When I tell you that Bronwyn ate Lisa up, Lisa said, you need to go to college. Bronwyn said, you need to go get a job so you can pay these lawsuits. It was so good. Shout out to production, because for every lie that Lisa tells, they're pulling up these court documents to dispute her lies. Bye, y'all.